Hey guys, how are you? Kind of promised, I know there's something on my face, but kind of promised I was going to show you this mask. I wanted to debut it. I'm working out some of the kinks, but I just wanted to apply it live and take it off live and have a little bit of conversation while we're doing so. If you don't catch the live, the replay plays just like the real thing. So you'll see what it looks like when I put it on. But I just made it kind of in a bowl. So you see, it's black. So I'm just going to apply it, and I'm going to sit here while I apply it and let it dry. I hope I don't make a huge mess. I shouldn't. Hold on. So I'm going to wait for a couple of people to join and see what you guys want to kind of talk about today. I pray your day is going good and that all is well. All is well with you. I hope some people join so we can have some sort of conversation, because it's going to be crazy sitting here watching this dry and I'm just sitting here talking to myself. So I'm just applying it. It's kind of a lot in this bowl. I'm working out the kinks of keeping it, but I think I just figured it out by mistake. So that has been the issue with me. Hey Vanessa, how are you doing? With me not offering this mask is I was stumped on how I was supposed to ship it and how you were supposed to keep it. So now I think I just now figured it out right before we got on, or I got on. I just figured out how to keep it. So I'm just going to apply it, and then we're going to let it dry a little bit, and then I'm going to remove it live. So how are you doing, Miss Vanessa? I pray your day is good. This is crazy. Jesus, this is crazy. But whatever. You only live once. YOLO. I don't know who's watching, but if you could oblige me in some conversation, hey girl, that would be fantastic, because this is awesome. How are you doing, Miss Shelby? Yep, YOLO, sister. YOLO. I'm trying to apply this fast because there's just a learning curve to this, and I'm trying to learn it. How are you doing today? How's your day? How's your day going? Pray your day is going good. So I'm going to talk about the mask once I get it on, so we can see what's going on here. And, Jesus, not good. Some of my issues with it. Your day is going good? So, charcoal, it's actually, it looks black on the screen because, you know, of course, charcoal is the main ingredient, or one of the main ingredients, I should say. It's all about, it's all pretty equal, maybe. It's a mask that I've been waiting to release, but I've been having some trouble with how it keeps. This is something that you could use, you know, maybe once a month, depending on what's going on with your skin. You could use maybe once a week. I think this is it. There's such a learning curve to this, because I'm doing it a little bit different than what we see people out here in the world doing it. So of course the elixir is in it. The elixir is the base. I don't really use water in anything. It's vegan. That matters. When I start talking about it, you'll know why. It's vegan. That is important. There's chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is in it. So usually when we talk about the okay, so it's such a learning curve. So I had something to do. I mixed this up, and I had something to do, and it dried in the bowl. And so that's just been one of my issues with I'm doing a mask. With this mask is the learning curve of how to keep it. So I don't even know if it's going to do right, but it's okay, because so I fudged it a little bit when it was time to kind of put it on, because it had dried in the bowl. And so, when I first sat down, or when I was getting ready to do it, of course it's a liquid. And so if I go heat it, it'll become a liquid again. But right now, it's completely dry. You see that? So that's why you see me like hurrying up trying to put this on. You see it's in the bowl. It's not coming out of the bowl. See that? So that's been my issue. Is it like, I was like, okay, you guys get it to your house, and you're like, and so the brush, I just want to show you. So the brush it's not even moving it around anymore. It's not rock solid, right? It's not rock solid, but it's not, you can't put it on anymore. But hopefully I put it on even enough where we can see what it can do, even though it's not going to be proper. So we're just going to chat for a couple minutes, and we're going to watch this dry. And then we're going to take it off. And then when we're taking it off, we're going to talk about what this does do. So this is going to do a couple of things. I know I look crazy, but it's okay. Hey, Sarita, this is going to do a couple of things for you. No, Siri. And so if you have hair, if you get the hair sparsely, but you have when I say hair, you have a couple of hairs that you tweeze or something, or you have your mustache, this is gonna address that. If you have blackheads, this is gonna pull it out. If you have whiteheads, this is gonna pull it out. But on the directions, I'm gonna say 30 minutes. Let me stop before that thing. I'm gonna say 30 minutes, but there's a learning curve here, and so I'm gonna let this do this to overnight, and I'm gonna see if I reheat it tomorrow and you let it sit. Will I be able to apply it again? So that's been the issue. This mask is amazing. So when we talk about cholera or cholera, I always say cholera, but it's really not cholera because that is a disease. Chlorophyll and its derivative. What that does is, okay, so if you notice, see, it's not even right there, but that's okay. I hope I didn't get this into my edges, but you don't have to, you can just wash it out. Anyway, what that does for your skin is, if you notice that sometimes you're puffy, let's say you've been eating carbs make you puffy. And so a lot of times it'll make your face look like it's fatter than what it is, and you'll feel like you put on weight, and you really didn't put on weight. What's going on is there's inflammation. There's inflammation in your body, and there's inflammation in your skin. And so what this does, I'll talk about the charcoal in a minute. Y'all probably know about the charcoal anyway. But what this does is it causes your actual skin, the inflammation in your skin, to decrease. So when something's going on with you where you look puffy, I know what I'm talking about, you ain't put on no real weight, but it looks like could be a double chin kind of coming on a little bit. You just look puffy in the face, right? I shouldn't make faces with this on because it's kind of scary. So this is going to address that. This is, like I said, it's going to address those hairs that if you are a yanker, if you are a puller, if you are a plucker, and then if you do, some people who yank, pull, and pluck, which I never did, you get ingrown hairs, and that causes scars. So you're biting off your nose to spite your face, as the old people would say. So this is actually going to address pores, because what it's doing is when it's going to rip out the hair at the root, but at the same time it's going to be cleaning your pores. It's going to be cleaning your pores. So a lot of hair is going to come out. So you see, like, I clearly, you would not, honestly, you would not be able to, I got some like close to my eye. You're not going to be able to do, like you say, I got it in my eyebrows. You wouldn't even address that. You would just go and wash that out normally, because you'll pull out your whole brain, and you don't want to do that because it can hurt. It can hurt. So if you can see, the application is bumpy. We would want it smooth. So I'm going to kind of address some of the mistakes that I did. So if you were to get this, one, you got to put it on. You would portion out what you're going to use. You would heat that up, and you would just mix it until it starts to re-thicken again. Once it begins to re-thicken a little bit, you would put it on quickly. You're going to have to put it on super, I don't know what's going on there. You're going to put it on super quick, right? And you're going to want an even application. You see this? It's not even. It's got those balls or whatever. You see that? I don't know if y'all can see that. So you see under here, it's pretty even, but up here, they're like these little bally things. You're not going to want that. But why that happened is because while I was getting ready to go live, I set it out and I let it sit, and it began to, and I don't want to get up and reheat it, which I could get up right now and go to the microwave and reheat it, and then you can see what it looks like, but I don't feel like doing all that right now. So we're just going to go with it, but you're just seeing the mistakes in the moment, right? It's still gonna work, even though it's, you know what I mean? But if you can't see, like right here, if you have large pores right here, you're gonna kind of want it right there. Yeah, you're gonna kind of want it on your pores. So, because it's gonna minimize your pores after the fact. So that would be a mistake, right? Because it's not even. It's not as even as it could be. But you're definitely gonna want it, if you can see the thickness of the layer, you're gonna want it not too thick, but not too thin. So what I mean by that, you don't want it like, say, how thick, if this ball was a layer right here, you can see it, if this ball was a layer, you wouldn't want it that thick, because you're gonna cry. You're gonna cry. You're gonna cry. And you don't want it too thin, because it's not going to work. So you're gonna want like an even layer, just where you can't see the skin, like your skin peeking through, but you don't want it where you feel like it's like layer upon layer upon layer upon layer. You don't need to do all that, but you do want it thick enough so that it actually does do what it's supposed to do. And even in these places, I'll show you what you can do. If it's too thin, I'll show you how you can work it to get the same, when you're taking it off, you can get the same type of feel, only I wouldn't do that much under my eyes, because you could damage your capillaries that are under your eyes. Does that make sense? So the ingredients in it, all natural, of course, organic. I don't even like saying all natural. Vegan, because vegan matters in this type of situation and scenario, because this is a peel-off mask. And so if you have ever done a peel-off mask, or if you're getting a peel-off mask, from online or the stores, they're using glue. It's a glue component. It's a chemical, and I guess it does the job. But I don't want to put glue on my face. I don't want to put glue on my face. I don't trust that. Y'all know how I feel. You could drink the elixir. I don't know why you'd want to, but my thing is that with everything that's in the elixir, yeah, I'm just obsessed with them since I've seen them, and so I was like, I want to create my own but I don't want to use glue. And most of the peel-off masks that are on the market, the binding agent is glue. The binding agent is glue. So the binding agent in this, and that's why I said vegan matters, is gelatin. So what's happening to my face is what's happening to this bowl. Y'all see this? So you see I'm pulling? You see I'm pulling? This was, before I got on, it was liquid, and it's not. It's very, let me see if I can get a good chunk. We'll see if I can, I lost it. See if I can get it back to you. Okay, I found it. So let's see if I can get like a chunk. I'm gonna use this in the bowl. I'm gonna heat it up. I just figured out you could do that. So you see it? It looks like glue. Gelatin, I don't know if y'all know this. Gelatin is made of meat, usually. It's pork. There's good old pork in gelatin. Hallelujah. So when you eat like Skittles and Starburst, and it has this consistency, it's pork, it's gelatin. It's not vegan. And so for the people who, you know, are vegan, it's not a big deal to just use vegan gelatin. But you see it, what's happening to this bowl is what's happening to my face right now. So it's drying, and the same way y'all see that? So in the bowl, oh, that's so good. I can do the demonstration on the bowl, even though I'm going to use this. Again, watch. So you see this? You can see the bowl? Watch. So this is what happens if you do it right. This would definitely be too thick. See how thick that is? That's definitely too thick. But I want to save it because I'm going to use it again. But see, it just kind of peels off in one. Y'all see that? So of course it's not going to be this thick. And so everything, if there was something in this bowl, it would have picked it up. So probably if I ever do this demo again, I'm going to do it in a bowl. Hallelujah. I'm doing a bowl and put some sugar in it. So if I don't know how sanitary this is. So if there was something in this bowl, it would have picked it right up. Y'all see this? It's not crumbling. It's just peeling right up. So that's going to happen to your skin. So if there's hair, it's removing all of these things. As it's drying, it's going into your pores, and it's going to pull out impurities that are not be there. Let's talk about activated charcoal. Activated charcoal is a beast. We should all have some in our house. If you have a bee sting, you would take activated charcoal, you would put it in, mix it with water, make a paste, and you would put it on the bee sting. You would put it on the mosquito bite. If there was venom in something, you would take the activated charcoal and you would just rub it, make a paste and put it over the spot. Activated charcoal. If you eat something that's bad, borderline food poison, you would take the activated charcoal and you would drink it. Right? So it's amazing. It's amazing. But for our skin, it pulls out impurities. I mean, it gets down deep. It detoxifies. It's amazing. So when you mix that with the chlorophyll, and I have see, you see what I'm saying? See how people listen. If that joker has any sense, he is sitting here like, yes, boo, yes, ma'am, make some more charcoal masks, right? So it's tightening. I don't know if y'all can tell, like, so I did it right under here. So it's real tight right now under here. It's real tight. And so I'm not gonna lie to you. You can feel it pulling. You can feel it pulling. Can you see that? Can you see that? Can you see that? Yeah. So up here I didn't do it right, as right. So it's still drying up here. It's still gonna come off, but again, I messed up because I let it sit. So I'm going to experiment with what's in this bowl on tomorrow, because I made a decision this morning. I said, you know what? I will send you everything that you need all mixed together, and then you would have to mix it when you wanted it instead of getting it like this. So I don't know. I still may do that because I feel like you may get more uses if you mix it yourself. And all you're going to do is mix it with 3 tablespoons of the elixir. Or I'll put elixir in there. No, I won't. No, I won't, because it'll make it hard. So everything will have to be powder. So you would just mix it, or aloe vera juice if you don't use the elixir. And you would mix it as you need, but I think I figured it out today. But I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to do it whichever way it can stretch for you. Whichever way you can get more uses out of it, because everybody's going to be different in terms of what they need it for. Like, so if you have hair that grows back a little bit faster, then what's going to happen is you may want to use it a little more than somebody who's like, I don't have any hair. So I'm starting to peel it off down here. I don't have any hair, so I just want to use it because this is really going to detoxify my face. And once you do this, listen, this is a whole entire, I went to the spa and got me a facial. Like, when I say your skin is so smooth, it is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So this is definitely gonna be a staple. I'm trying to find a place because it's not super dry, but I feel like this is scary a little bit. So yeah, does anybody have any questions? Because you guys have to sit here while I peel it off, so we might as well talk. So down here, when I said you got to make sure the layers are good, I didn't make the layers down here, but you can see, I don't know if you can see this, I'm peeling it off, and it's grabbing hair. I can feel it. It's grabbing hair. So if I cry, just listen. You'll be fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. So y'all see this? I'm just peeling it off. I'm just peeling it off. Peel upward, never peel downward. Peel upward against gravity, and you're going to get more of a better peel. So this is what it looks like. It's just a skin. Or looks like, right? That's all it looks like. So, does anybody have any questions about this, or what do you want to talk about while we're sitting here as I peel this off? Under here it got a little thin when I started it, or when I went down here, because it was drying so fast, guys. No. Oh, but it feels good. It feels good. As long as you don't do it too thick or too thin where you got to keep pulling at it. Oh, that was a good peel. See, y'all see that? This was where it got a little wonky because it was drying and it started. So it's peeling real good. Y'all see this? No preservatives, no chemicals, only 4 ingredients, minus the elixir. Okay, so this is where I get hair. Right here. This is where I get hair. I don't mind the sideburn hair. I don't mind that at all. But even like right here, like we have fine hairs, and so when you pull it, you can feel it, and it's grabbing those hairs. So, and it's grabbing my hair. So if you, this really wasn't dry, so it's okay. But hair on the upper lip, you can feel it pulling it out, and it doesn't really hurt. It doesn't hurt. Yeah. So over here is where I said I get hairs on the side, so you can feel it. It doesn't hurt. I can't see it because the color, but you can see some of the stuff that was underneath your skin. You can. So this is just a way to detoxify your skin. And the effects of it last time I did it, I'm not going to do it in my eyebrows. I can't believe I put it in my eyebrows. We're not doing that. The last time I did it, the effects of it lasted like 2 or 3 days. When I say that, I mean I went somewhere and I didn't even want to put on makeup because my skin was just, I dropped a piece. It was glowing. It was pretty. All I did was put on lip gloss and maybe get a phone call and maybe a little bit of like eyeshadow or something. So, but if you do wear makeup, your makeup is going to go on really, really smooth. That's a thing I hear out there in those streets, is you want your makeup to go on smooth. Try not to get my eyebrow, because I really put it on my eyebrows. I wasn't paying attention. My daughter's funny. So does anybody have any questions? I could have let it stay on a little bit longer, but it, I think it stayed on long enough. And sorry, because I didn't apply it even, because I was over here doing stuff that I shouldn't have been doing. But if you are hairy and you do, use things to get the hair out, this is a wonderful way. I'm gonna have to wash that out. Then my edges. We're not doing that in the edges. You're not gonna yank your edges out with a mask. But I don't know if you can see this, because I haven't rinsed my face. But I'm going to have to go back and maybe do a before and after when I put this on. If you could feel my face right now, and there's still like some residue on it, it's so smooth. And I look crazy, but it's so smooth. It feels so good. And I really cleaned out all of my pores. I'm going to wash that off. And it's really quite satisfying to peel this off your face if you're a picker or a puller. It's really kind of satisfying. Gets the job done. Yeah, we're not going to mess with that. Ooh, I feel that edge coming out, Lord. So, yeah, we have a peel-off mask. Yep, I can see the hair in that one. Oh, that's cool. And it will address your hair so that you don't have to pull and pick. And that's huge, because you really are damaging your pores when you tweeze. When you tweeze, you are damaging your pores. And if you pick and all that kind of stuff, you really are damaging your pores. And so, like, my skin is it feels so good. It's, if you steam before, like if you take a hot shower and then do this, it's going to bring all the impurities to the front. I didn't do that. I did like the worst possible scenario. So, like, take a shower or whatever, get the steam up. And then when you put this on, you're going to not rip out, that's not the right. You're going to loosen up the debris that's underneath your pores. So, yeah, I'm going to have to wash. Well, okay, I said I was going to show you. So this is hair right here. So I'm going to demonstrate lightly. I ain't finna get this out. I'm going to wash this out because I want to keep an eyebrow. Jesus. Keep your eyebrows. Hallelujah. So let's say you were down here and you applied it wrong. You put too much and it did that bubbly thing. All you're going to do is do this in a circular motion, and it would grab those hairs. That's all you're going to do, is you're going to do it in a circular motion, and it will grab those hairs. I really don't want to grab in my eyebrow hair, but you know what? Who cares? I've burnt off my lips doing this kind of stuff. It is what it is. It is a whole entire process. I've got to figure it out for myself, right? Oh Lord, did I pull out my eyebrow? So yeah, so you would just do it in a circular motion. I'm not going to do it up here because I really do want to keep my edges. Because this is really going to pull out the hair. It's really going to pull out the hair. Like, I don't have anything right now. Nothing. It's all gone. It's super smooth. My skin is super clean. And so all I would do is I need to get this off. But you're not going to do this. When you apply, you're going to make sure you don't do your eyebrows, but I don't follow directions. And then I'm going to chase it with elixir. And then, hey, I love you. I'm going to chase it with elixir, and this is in my hair. And then I'm done. I'm done. So if you're using the elixir in the summertime, you don't really have to moisturize a whole lot, depending on like what type of skin you have. Lord, please don't let me. Well, you know what? I got a product for edges, so right. So I just got to look like this for a minute because I got to rinse this out. I'll wash this off. So basically, this is the mask. It's a peel-off mask, right? It's a peel-off. Yeah, just don't go by your. Don't. I have something for eyebrows if you want to grow your eyelashes and your eyebrows. But this is basically the peel-off. Let me get the pieces out. So what happened to this bowl is what I just did to my face. Vegan, organic, made with 4 simple, amazing ingredients that are all good for your skin, that's going to cause inflammation to go down, that's going to clean your pores, that's going to get the hair out, right? It's we talk about scarring, we talk about wrinkle reduction, all of that is inside of these 4 little ingredients. So I'm probably getting ready. I just got to figure this out a little bit. I keep it. And then we're gonna probably do a thing. Eyelashes are straight, but yeah. Did you tweeze in the 90s? Guys, I don't know if y'all remember, in the 90s it was like a thing where people would shave off all their eyebrows and draw them back on. I've never been an eyebrow person. I'm like, I ain't spending no more money on hair. I just got enough money to spend on my hair on my head. Everything else, I don't care about. So, I don't know. No, my mom's eyebrows kind of fell out too. I don't know why. Maybe it's hereditary or something. I keep mine thick. Or thickish, I guess. Yeah, but I have something. The same thing that grows your eyelashes can grow your eyebrows. You can grow your eyebrows. Yep, you can grow your eyebrows. No, it won't. It won't, because I still do touch-ups. But the same rules apply. So 2 weeks or a week before you actually go for the treatment, you would have to do this. Because you're still killing hair follicles, right? So you want to make sure that the hair follicle is active. So you don't want to do this right before, because when you go down, if you do this, it's going to rip the hair out of the it's going to rip the hair out of the root, and then the hair follicle won't be active. So the same rules would apply. This gets, everything's gone. So this is a great way in between laser. And then if you have like this, the 3 or 4 strays, and you're not doing laser, you're not really doing anything, but you're plucking. Or if you're noticing that it's a little bit more and you're starting to get a little apprehensive about that, this is a really good way or an alternative to the people who do the razor thing, to get their makeup on smooth, so they razor all the hair off their face. I really feel like this is a safer alternative. I would never do that just because I don't do arts and crafts. And I feel like I would take a layer of my face off, and that's not good. So this is a great alternative to that, but it's also accomplishing so many things for your skin. And I'm telling you, once you do this for like the next couple of days, like 3 or 4 days, if you're not even going to want to wear, you're not even going to want to wear makeup or anything, because there is a glow to your skin. It's healthy. It's not healthy looking. Right, it's not healthy looking. Yeah, so I'm gonna figure this out a little bit. I think I figured it out before because this is what happened while I sat here. When I set this bowl down, it was a liquid, and now you see, it's not. So my application was not the best, because I was like, my brush is dead now, poor thing. But I could just wash it right out. But I think I know how to get this back right. So I'm going to experiment with it tonight, and then we're going to see what happens tomorrow, because I want you to be able to keep it, because something like this, what was in this bowl, was probably 3 applications. This is probably 3 applications, and we don't want to waste our money. So yeah, I don't use water to mix this up. I use the elixir. So I don't know. Should I if I turn the light on so you can see my face? Do you want me to turn the light on? Because I have this crazy looking eyebrow over here. But I will if you want me to, so you can see what it looks like, because I just took it off. So you can see before I put any moisturizer on, before I finish rinsing this off. This is exactly what it looks like when you take it off. Yeah, I'm trying to save my little eyebrow. Listen, because y'all see this? Y'all see that? So let's say you have hair, like right here. You see this? This is my eyebrow. Y'all see that? That's my eyebrow. So you have hair down here. This is it. Y'all see that? That's crazy. All right, it's gonna hurt my eyes. So, you see? You see that? So if I pull that I would lose probably like 8 hairs. I mean, I guess I could work, because it would be like I got my eyebrows done. I'm not gonna do that. But yeah, so I don't know if you can see, but I just took it off. I have not rinsed. I have not done anything, and super smooth. There's a glow. I'm telling you, this is a beast because of the ingredients that are in it. So I'm gonna experiment with this a little bit more so we can figure out how we're gonna ship it. Oh, I got it out with no hair. Right. So does anybody have any questions about, oh, I stuck it in the wrong bowl. Does anybody have any questions about any of this or any of the product, or just anything in general? Yeah, I know. I'm telling you. Listen, Linda. I like anything that's shiny. I'm a child. I like anything that's shiny. So if my skin is shiny, I'm happy. And I know most people don't like that. They don't like looking greasy. I don't mind, because greasy is what keeps the wrinkles away. So grease me up. Yep. So does anybody have any questions about anything? For those of you guys who have orders, we're getting those orders out tomorrow, Saturday. We made a new hair booster. Haven't released it yet. This one's on fire. When I say this is on fire, the new hair booster is on fire. Oh my gosh. So I'm using it. And so there's just this effect to the hair where I've used it twice, that when you get done, it's like stretched, but it's not henna. It's not henna because, you know, but it is Ayurvedic. So when you get done, it has the same like hanging effect that you get when you do henna. And the second time I used it, like my hair had never felt like so strong. Like I was like even my scalp was like, yeah, we've been lifting weights. You know, it was crazy. So I'm going to play with that just a little bit more before we release that. But I mean, so we've got a couple of new things in the works. I hear you guys with the body wash. Yeah, so this is not the truth. This is not the truth. This was pent up in here and it came down when I worked out. So it stretched a little bit. But like, you know, after you wash your hair, and you like put your product on, like my hair was hanging, even though it was still like, you know, curly or whatever, it was hanging like it was straight. Yeah, go ahead and order. No, it's still time. Go ahead and order. I mean, it was hanging like the length of it was as if it was straight. I mean, and it was like heavy and it was full and it was, you know what I mean? And so I've never worked with these before. I've never worked with this before, and I really, really love it. It's actually edible. So I'm also thinking about making, for those of you guys who can stomach something that doesn't taste good, I can. It don't have to taste good. If it's good for me, I will down that sucker. So I'm thinking about making a hair skin drink, because anything liquid. So what's in this booster minus the old stuff that's in the booster, you actually can't eat that. So you actually can't eat the hair booster. You actually can. So with this one though, it would do double duty, because what's on the inside of it is something that causes your hair to grow very rapidly. So it's on the hair, and then if you want to consume it, it's going to cause your hair to grow rapidly, and it's going to cause, when it grows, for your hair to be very, very, very healthy. So I'm trying to make it where it's not totally disgusting, but I don't know. I think sometimes we needed something a little bit extra, and some of the stuff that's in some of the hair vitamins, it doesn't work for everybody, or it can make you break out, and nobody wants to live that life. Yeah, they do. I mean, your diet, everything's your diet, right. But these are not in the regular American diet. What's in the regular booster is not in the regular American diet, and then what's in this new one is not in the regular American diet. And so it would be a hair vitamin like on fleek. You know what I mean? So I don't know. So we're trying to play around with that a little bit. And also I'm trying to play around with something for weight loss. I don't know how y'all feel about that. Something that would increase your metabolism and cut your appetite. So we're working on that too. Just try not to make it nasty. Look at these. I don't want to eat anymore because you burnt my tongue off, you know? We don't want those. We don't want that kind of report. So I don't know. So yeah, so if you have an order out there, we're getting ready to start making and shipping. Y'all know I make everything the day it ships. So that's always fun. And when I go to the post office, they're always like, "Oh, here she comes," right? So everything's super fresh. I'd rather it that way. I don't have any product on hand. She said Lee had weight loss. Yes. Yeah, so this would just help if you're trying to jumpstart a healthy journey. We're getting ready to, in another group, we're getting ready to do, I don't know if Elder Nunnery's still on, the 90-day consecration. We did it last year. And so training your appetite is really good. So I usually start in September. Getting rid of things that I crave that you know you're going to let go of in the 90 days. And you can train yourself where your appetite is much, much, much less. So if you do intermittent fasting, your appetite, you're ready to eat when it's time for you to eat. And when you're not ready to eat, you don't even care. When it's the hours that you're fasting, you really don't care unless it was something, something's been going on where, either you're in a caloric deficit, you're just hungry, but you really don't even miss it, right? So in the month of September, really like doubling down and dealing with the sugar, dealing with the caffeine. I think I may have a recipe, and I'm playing around with this, but again, it's taste. If you have to have coffee, where you could put this in place of coffee, if you said I wanted to give up coffee, because that's a big one. That's a huge one. for some people to give up your coffee, right? So if you could give up coffee and it's actually really good for you and it gives you energy and it's healthy for you, yeah. And so sometimes coffee is the thing because you have to, a lot of people don't, Chastity drinks her coffee black. Most people don't do that. Like she honestly, for real, loves coffee, right? I love the smell of coffee, right? But here's the thing, coffee does cut your appetite. I don't know if y'all know that. Coffee is an appetite suppressant. Yep, and so that habit of having coffee in the morning, yeah, I don't know that this that dandelion something ain't gonna do it for some people, right? So I'm looking at some, really putting cocoa, real cocoa, the stuff that don't add calories, real stuff. Along with a couple of other things that may be able to take the place of coffee for those 3 months for you so that you don't go through the withdrawal. Right? So, but with coffee, sometimes it's a double-edged sword because of the sugar. It's not bad, yeah. But a lot of people who are addicted to coffee, it is that bad. Tea ain't gonna cut it. Tea ain't gonna cut it because it's something. Tea is too light. Coffee's got this heavy. It's got this weight to it that most of the time tea it has the flavor, but it doesn't have the weight to it that real coffee drinkers need, right? But for people who like me, you're in it for the smell, then the tea works. And it actually is better because I don't even drink the whole thing of tea or coffee. So tea is exponentially better for you. But when you talk about like ginger tea versus coffee and the benefits, right? Coffee does make you more alert. It really does. And it does cut your appetite. But the issue is too much coffee and then dessert coffee when you put like a ton of cream in it and sugar. And so if you start the day with sugar in your coffee, then your taste buds want the sugar throughout the day, right? So a lot of times people will be like, I'm cutting down sugar, but you're still drinking coffee. So when you get your coffee, you get the same coffee thinking, well, it's not a whole lot of sugar, but what it does is it activates your desire for sugar throughout the day. So it's like this double-edged sword. It's like this cycle that you're going through. And so unless you can drink your coffee black, you may just have to walk away from it for 3 months. Once you get coffee out of your system, it's smooth sailing. And sugar. Once you get it out of your system, sugar, 2 weeks. All you got to do is give it 2 weeks. 2 weeks could change your life. But if you need sugar for your coffee, right? So, because you'll keep doing that thing. So, I don't know. So, yeah, we're just, working on some stuff. But if you're going to do that 90 days, start thinking about what you want to give up and start cutting down on it and going days without it now so that appetite is decreased for it. I practice fasting all the time because, it is what it is, right? It is what it is. So, yeah. Before we get off, does anybody have anything else you want to know about or anything else you wanted to talk about? I just wanted to hop on today. I hadn't been on, really like we're supposed to. I know I want to do some, I want to get on and really talk about some businesses. I know that there's a lot of businesses in the group. And I am like a for real business coach. I do an incubator here in Atlanta with small startups. So my specialty kind of is startups, and this is a startup. You're watching a startup in action. So it could almost be like it's the most epic case study, if you will. But if you are a startup and you're like looking at your value propositions or your business model canvas, and you're missing some gaps and some holes, I would love to maybe pull a couple of people on and deal with your business model kind of live. I feel like I feel like this is just Mimicism, I feel like there's enough out here for everybody. I feel like even people in the same industry can help each other and they can partner. You know, Samsung made one of the technologies for the iPhone X. And so they walked away from the iPhone X, I think with like $100 million, because iPhone or Apple did not have the technology that was needed, but Samsung did. So the two biggest competitors teamed up because it was a win-win, right? It was a win-win. Samsung is like, we have no desire to do this that looks like iPhone. We're in our own lane. But we do have the technology and they need the technology. So this is actually a win-win. And so I know that you guys are noticing that a lot of the corporations are closing and laying off. And, you know, so now is a really good time to start thinking about what you can do. You know, entrepreneurship is very different from small business ownership. There's nothing wrong with having a small business. You know, it's not as innovative. It's not you're creating something. You can take your skill set from your regular 40-hour job and remix that into a small business, and you should be, because your job is not to pay you your worth. Your job's job is not to pay you your worth. You're worth more than the industry standard for this job or this skill set, right? So how do we make up the difference? We know when we look at salaries, you should never look at a salary when you're looking at something online and saying, okay, well, I'm worth, you know, $50,000. No, you're worth way more than that if you had the leeway to really move in your creativity, if you really had the leeway to really hone in and practice a particular set of your skill set that you really don't get to every day when you go in to do this particular job function. So how much are you really worth? What do you really want to bring in? If your job is really in trouble, then what's the next step? What's the next move, right? Your money is never going to be your issue. Information and revelation about what you can do, that's really your issue, right? So what can you create? What can you do? What can you try your hand at? And there's a million different ways to skin a cat. So if there's 3 people on here who say, I bake really well, you know, there's a million different ways to break in baking. So let's talk about that real fast. So you have the person who can bake and they say, I'm gonna bake and I'm going to take one cake and I'm gonna slice the cake and I'm gonna make a batch of cookies and I'm going to package the cookies and I'm going to sell them. I'm going to use social media. I will, you know, do the thing where all my friends who are in the area that work in a corporate setting, every Friday, I will drop off cakes. I will drop off slices of cakes, you know, and then this person, you know, listen, if you bake, this is a freebie. I don't know if Chastity's still on, but this was one of the first things I told her to do. When you're testing your baking, right? When you're testing your baking, if you go to a flea market and you buy a table, you'll be out there with tons of different people and they're all selling something. The tables that sell out every single Saturday and every single Sunday are people who sell food. And they have the least amount of tables. You go to any flea market. I want you to test this theory. Go to any flea market. You're going to see some of everything. You're going to see some of everything. And you'll see like 4 or 5 tables that baked. That have cakes, that have cookies, that have whatever. They consistently sell out. They consistently sell all their product. Because people, when they're moving around, they eat. I mean, they want it. Our appetite drives us. And so your real appetite is driving you in the moment. So, you know, it's a way to test. It's a way to, you know, meet people. It's a way to, you know, see, hey, do you do birthday parties, right? So it's marketing, but it's also testing, do people actually like my baking? What product do they like the most? So if you have cakes and then you have pies, right? You have your best cake that you're known for, you have your best pie that you're known for, and you just see which one sells out first or which one sells out. Then that's the one that sells out, well then you know, okay, this is my bread and butter. This is my bread and butter because you tested it among people who are not your friends. right? You test it among people who, by just the sheer look of it, maybe they said that the cake is what they gravitated towards, or maybe you find out in your area, this is a cake people versus a sweet potato pie people, right? So it's a great place if you're a baker, we're just talking about baking, to test at a flea market, right? So you got that person. They can hustle like that. But then you got the other person who says, I don't have the time because I have 5 kids, I have 2 jobs, and I'm going to school, but I bake. So I understand I'm sitting on some money. We got to make sure as we go into 2020, y'all following me? Because I don't want to feel like I'm going on rabbit trails because y'all are awfully quiet. In 2020 and beyond, we got to say we're not going to leave any money on the table. In your friend groups, if you are a true friend, you got to look at your friend and you got to say, listen, you're leaving money on the table. I know this is what you want to do. I know this is your dream. But however, you've got this skill set that's in your hands that you're not doing anything with. So if you're going to work for somebody else, if you're going to get up and do, to clock in at 8 a.m. and clock out at 5 p.m. and sit in 3-hour traffic, then you might as well take what's in your hands and use it for a season to get where you want to be, if that makes sense. So the second person may say, I'm a little bit more busy. I don't have the time. I can't do that. I have nobody who can run it for me. So what this person is going to do is they're going to go in their, in like a 15-mile radius. They're going to Google all the mom and pop wings place and mom and pop fish spot and something. The little mom and pops restaurants that are not chains. You in a 15-mile radius, and you're gonna go see. You're gonna walk in, you're gonna look at their menu, and you're gonna see, do they have a dessert case? If they have a dessert case, you're gonna notice what's not there. Based off of their menu, what should be there. If they don't have a dessert case, well then you can say, I can supply you with 4 cakes a week. 4 cakes a week. So when you talk about a cake, like when somebody makes a whole cake, you sell the whole cake. So this is a win-win for the business owner because you have 2 ways that you could promote this. You could say, if there's something, a display that's kind of there, you can say, rent me the display. You can put whatever you want in it. You can put your business cards in there. You can put your brochures in there. You can deck it out. You can decorate it. One week you can have cupcakes. The next week you can have sweet potato pie cupcakes. I don't even know if that's a thing, right? So you can say, rent me that case. And so it's a win-win because now I'm giving you something you didn't have and you need. But it's a win-win for me because I get to come up from under your business and I get to kind of be an entity on my own because I get to kind of advertise for myself. Or you could say, I just want to unload the cakes. I can bake the cakes, do whatever you want with them. So you have a cake, and let's say the whole cake, you would sell the whole cake for $60. $60. I don't know how many slices you can get off a cake. I should know this, but I don't. Whatever. So it's a pound cake. I don't know how many slices you can get off a pound cake. Somebody help me. So you sell the whole cake to the restaurant. You're gonna scale back on your prices a little bit. They get to slice the cake and they get to sell each slice for what they want. So if I spend $60, I say $80, Jesus. If I spend $60 on your cake and my restaurant, I need to at least come up off of $100 after all the slices are sold. So I made a $40 profit and people come just for the cake. People come to the restaurant, but they definitely want to get the cake, and they think that this is coming from my restaurant. So I'm almost becoming known for something that I don't even supply. Right? So that's way number 2. And then you have way number 3. And this is a person who says, I can bake. I can bake all day, every day. So but they don't ever buy a pan. They don't ever mix a flour. They don't ever do any of that. They sell their recipes. So on the weekend, they get up at 3 a.m. and they experiment. And they create new recipes. and they sell the recipe. So do you see how there are so many different ways? The restaurant owner is not going to buy a recipe. And they're not going to be able to deal with the hustler, the person who's saying, I can do this on my own. I can build this out on my own. I can kind of make more money doing this on my own because I have the time. So we just looked at one person who can bake, but they have a plethora of options. And this ain't even all the options. This ain't even all the options. So my thing is, what you got on the table that you're not doing nothing with? And so maybe we could just, take some time and, here for maybe a month or two, and we can kind of talk about what we're doing with what we have. Because what's in your house and what's in your hand is valuable to somebody. It's valuable to somebody. Somebody will buy it, and that can add income into your house until you actually either use it as an investment for what you really want to do, or you can, scale it and make it something bigger. Right? Everybody's got to start somewhere. I have a peel-off mask in a bowl. Everybody's got to start somewhere. So where's your somewhere? What are you doing? Who's holding you accountable? If you're running with a crew that doesn't hold you accountable, you may need to leave that crew for a while. You've got to be hanging with people who are going to push you. You've got to be hanging with people who can see your skill set and they're not jealous that you're creative. They're not, going to hold you back. They're going to encourage you. They're going to put their hand in your back. They're going to say, hey, what can I help you with? What do you need me to do? But girl, we got to leave out of here. If you're over 30, right? If you're over 30, we need to be doing something, and we need to be hanging out with people who you are speaking into them and they are speaking into you, and hopefully you guys are trekking together so that we can do that girls trip, I guess, and we don't have to go to Palm Springs. We could go to Dubai, right? Because we're thinking bigger. Because we're working together. So, your crew is big. Your crew has a lot to do with how far you go. And, it means a lot if your crew gets down with your business and serves you, in the seasons that you need to be served. And we can serve each other. And it's not about who's making more money, but it's about what's in your hand coming to market, and you seeing that you have something valuable outside of your degree, outside of your experience in a certain skill set or whatever. So maybe we could do some just talk about how to kind of take some of your skills and talents and turn them into an opportunity that will serve you and serve your vision and serve your dreams. And so for some of you guys, you just may need to sit down still and dream again. You may need to sit down again and decide, where is it that we're going? Certainly if you've been in a job for a while, sometimes you get really complacent. And honestly, we don't have the luxury of getting complacent. We don't have that luxury anymore. You don't really know what's going on behind the scenes, right? So you always want to be in a position where if something dropped off, we will be okay until we picked up something else to replace what dropped off, right? So let's talk about that. Let's encourage each other. And if you don't have a crew, you have a crew here. So, we can put people as accountability partners. I tried that before going into the top of the year. It didn't work out too well. It's fine. I'm a whosoever will type person. And so for the people who are like, I really need this, it'll speak to them. And if one or two people use it and it's a springboard, that's what's up. That's what's up. You know what I mean? I'm not going to monetize it and put it, you pay $25.95 a month. I'm not going to do all that. Not going to do all that. If you don't want it and it's absolutely free, don't do it. But for the people who are like, I need some accountability, I need some help, I need somebody who's going to be saying, hey, what did you accomplish this week? Or what didn't you accomplish? Or what do you need help on? Or how can I help you? Then we have more than enough people to support one another, to support, what you've got going on the inside of you. Right? So, I don't know. We'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. So yeah, I may put out a thing and see who would like to go live with me. So we could talk about what you're doing. We could talk about how you're seeing what it is that you should be doing or what you would be doing, how you're going to test it, and your strategy for scaling it into something bigger. All right. So anyway, so I just wanted to show you the peel off mask. Nothing's wrong with my eyebrows. It's just still on there. Ooh, it's getting real hard. Ooh, yeah, it's still on there. I have a whole eyebrow on there. Again, listen, utilize the group. There's not a whole lot of posting going on. I probably will be looking for some admins to help post. I really want this to be a place where you can get help where you need it about whatever. Right? About whatever. For you to make real friendships and real relationship where you need it. Right? So it's not just about me pushing products, even though I'm using this, but really it's something else that I haven't unveiled yet, and we will over the next couple of months or so kind of double down and talk about what's really going on with this group and why this group really exists. So anyway, I guess that's it. Nobody has any questions. So yeah, hopefully this mask will be ready for consumption over the next week or so. I gotta keep experimenting with it. And if you have any questions about anything, hop in my inbox or just ask the ladies who are in the group. All right? So I love you guys. Thank you for trekking with me. You guys are amazing. You're beautiful. You're wonderful. Everybody's got some greatness and some beauty and something that's on the inside of them that needs to blossom and bloom. So why not it be you, and why not it be now? Right? Right. All right. So continue having an amazing day, and I'll see you again soon.